everybody, welcome to another episode of Talk Social News. This is the Friday wrap-up. We took last week off because it was Thanksgiving and a holiday, and we all needed a break from the massive amount of eating and the shopping that needed to be done, and so that's the way that this rolls. Happy Friday, guys. I gotta say, every time I take time off, I miss an episode, maybe it's because I was sick or because of a holiday or traveling or whatever the case is, I always miss coming back and miss you guys. I miss doing this. I really enjoy this. Guys, thank you so much, everybody that's joining us this morning. Doesn't matter what platform you're on. This is Talk Social News. We're gonna have some fun this morning. I gotta say this, I'm just gonna put it right out there. I can't guarantee that all the tech is gonna work. I don't know why, I just get that feeling when you take time off and you come back and something's just out of whack, something just doesn't feel right. I don't know what it is, but we're just gonna kind of try to figure this out this morning, no matter what. But guys, if you don't mind, would you share this out? Share this out, tag somebody, because there is so much going on in social this week. I actually have my pot of coffee already. Here's the mug shot for the day. I know I tried to coordinate mug to sweater. It was important to me, so that's what I did. All right, guys, thank you guys so much. Let me click in here. Let me say hi to everybody, guys, that is joining us, that are joining us. All right, let's do that. Hey, Terry, it's good to see you. Thank you so much. I see Alfredo. I say Cindy. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And you know what? On the Facebook, you guys are awesome. I appreciate it. Tag a friend, share it out. I've tried to share it into my group. And sometimes when you're doing all the things, Facebook doesn't always tell you that it's done all the things, and it's just laggy today. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the algorithm update that's been happening. I kind of want to talk about that a little bit on a couple of platforms. But guys, thank you so much. Let's kind of get right into it. You guys know this is Talk Social News. This is the weekly broadcast. We talk about live streaming and social media, particularly for brands and businesses. And the reason why we do that is because a lot of social media is geared towards personal use, but a lot of brands and businesses don't know how to use it, and they try to act like somebody they're not, and then they get it all messed up, and everybody hates it, and then we all blame social media and everybody else that's involved. So guess what? We're trying to draw the line in the sand. We're going to determine, so they say, no, enough is enough. So with that being said, I need to retweet this out, and I need to share my show out now that I can actually see everybody. There we go. Welcome to our show. There is a lot going on this week. We got Instagram news, we got Twitter news, we got Facebook, even Snapchat stuff. I'm not joking. When I was going down through the news feed, and I don't know if you guys know this, I use a couple different things, and one of my new favorite tools, it's not new, but it's new in how I try to streamline my workflow and stuff like this, is I use a service called Feedly. How many of you guys know about Feedly? All right. And Alfredo, I see your comment. You know what? I need to start including Twitch in this, because I really do. I think Twitch is becoming a real they're becoming a real factor, a real force in live stream media. Not just because they do live stream. Lots of places do live stream, but lots of people pay attention on the live stream. And I think that's what's really going to be. I think that's why they're important, especially considering the fact that that they're how closely associated and owned by Amazon. All right, so having said that, guys, let's see here. Welcome to everybody. I see if you guys are in Periscope, why don't you just say hi, just real quick. That it really does actually help, just so that I can actually see you guys there. And welcome to everybody that's kind of passing through. I see Lillian, and you know what? Here's the thing about Facebook. I can't always see everybody that's in there. It just doesn't, unless you actually say hi. But one remedy for that in Facebook is just hit the subscribe button, just like the VitMug fan page, and that will help us get a little bit better connected. So anyway, so Lillian, I see you love the banner. Did you use OBS to design that? Absolutely not. I do not use OBS for this. A lot of our shows sponsored by different, well, I'll say it like this, just like it says down below, it says powered by, and you'll see a number of the technologies and kind of partnerships that we have for this show and with VitMug to make this show happen. So let's get kind of right into it. This week on VitMug, you guys know we do several different shows throughout the week. There's a lot to be said, because guess what? We do a lot of different stuff. And, I don't actually know if this just completely died on me, and I don't even know. So, but I'm just going to keep broadcasting. We're just going to see if that actually goes through with the show right now. Because I honestly, I don't even know. So here's the thing. If I'm just actually have to straight through produce this, I have a feeling that just looped on me. I have been having problems doing this again and again. Is this killing me? Is this gonna kill me today? Are you guys? Did this loop? I guess that's the question. Did my video just loop? If so, we're gonna have to do something different, aren't we? We're gonna have to figure this out because I have a feeling it's gonna be one of those mornings. I don't know. All right, I will check it out. I'll use it. It's fine for me. Okay. Nope, I'm still seeing you. Okay, cool. Then let's just kind of go forward. I'm going to act like, but I'm not going to do any switching right now because it's just been so glitchy and I don't know what's going on. All right. So if we're going to, let me just, this week in VitMug. Yeah, that's where I was. All right. So this week in VitMug, this is what's going on. Okay. Guys, we actually do about 3 shows during the week, one of which is this show, Talk Social News. We talk about, live stream and social media. Another show that we do is called Streamed, and we go over it, we review apps. It's a little bit more on the tech side. It's a little bit more on the walkthrough side. It's not really about social media, but we typically do it live. We take live Q&A questions. We walk through. We've done talks on how to use Canva for your live stream show. We've talked about we've talked about how to record your live stream, how to get a good recording version, even if your computer actually can't do it. We teach you how to do that on the cloud. We've done a lot of these kinds of things. And again, last week, we were just taking some time off because of the holiday and things like this. But I think we're going to be coming strong throughout the rest of the month. Then there's a Let's Live Stream. This past week, we had Ann Wynn of Mobile Chat. That was a cool thing. I really enjoyed that this episode. And here's the reason why I really enjoyed it. She is also the host of another Twitter chat called Mobile Chat, and I kind of got to ask her some do's and don'ts. I asked her, it's how do they get started? She's been doing it since since the beginning of 2016. So she's done a few episodes, about 2 years now, and I really enjoyed it. She's also in the top 3 social media influencers in Houston. And I didn't know this, guys. If you don't already know this, Houston there's a lot of people there. I love that. This is one of those things, and we do this is a Twitter chat. We live stream the Twitter chat every Wednesday at 3. This is one of the most fun things that I get to do. It is a lot of work behind the scenes, but guess what? I really enjoy it. And even though not everybody can be there right during that time, what I found is that a lot of people they watch on the replay, and we do put this out. We put the replays out there. It's available whether on Periscope. We definitely put it out on Facebook and things like this. But if you guys don't know, how many of you guys know what a Twitter chat is? And I'm sure there's a bunch of you guys that just don't participate in it. And I guess that's okay. I guess that's going to be fine. Some people actually come back the next day and they chime in, they answer, and they reply and things. And and I love it because they want to be involved, even though right then, say they had a client come in or they were traveling or something. And this is what I love about replay on live video. And this is one of the things that we really try to teach, and we really try to promote this idea of repurposing within VitMug. So that's that show. That's streamed. Obviously you guys know about Talk Social News. That's Let's Live Stream. So that's a lot of the things that we're doing there. So Ann Wynn was last week. Steve Dotto from Dotto Tech is going to be our guest this coming week. How cool is that? This guy's been around in the broadcasting world for so long. He is so experienced, and I love to watch him. He's on when he does his live webinars, watching. He's got a thriving Patreon community, and one of the most fun things that I actually love to catch him in, and I didn't catch this until I was started following on Facebook and started interacting with him on Facebook. Is that he does, and don't quote me exactly on this, but he does something, it's something like dumb comment of the week, because this guy's got an amazing YouTube channel. I mean, absolutely say. So if you want to, you can go over to YouTube and look it up, Dotto Tech, and that's with 2 T's. Actually, that's with 3 T's because tech has a T. So it's Dotto Tech. So Steve Dotto over at Dotto Tech, he's got a great YouTube channel, and guess what? When you have a pretty significant following on YouTube, you're bound to get these awesomely dumb comments. Well, he gets them all the time, and he does his best to respond, not in kind, but he tries his best to do better and things like that. So what's funny is he always gives a reply. Always gives it. So, but I can't wait to get him on. I want to talk to him, ask him, talk to him about his webinar and, how he's made this transition, how he plans his year out, because he made this year, 2017, about doing, very consistently doing webinars, informational webinars, helpful webinars, and things like this. And if you guys can't already, I want to just encourage you guys join with that. All right. So that being said, let's get kind of quickly, briefly, convincingly into the news. All right. So what is the deal with Instagram? Instagram, I've got four things that I think are kind of interesting with it. So now I don't know if you guys know this, but Instagram's business profiles are being used by, and the headline says 25 million marketers. And I find that to be, I don't like that term, because I don't think business profiles are quite that prolific within just marketers, because I know a lot of marketers that just don't use it as a business side. They don't use business profiles, or maybe the comment really is that there's 25 million marketers out there that are using business profiles. Well, isn't that kind of what this point is? I mean, maybe why don't they say things like there's 5 million bakers using Instagram business profiles, or why don't they talk about like taxi cab drivers that are or Uber drivers, if there are any left after this past week or last couple of weeks. Good luck if you're an Uber. All right, so Instagram's testing a couple of new features, and there's 2 that I want to talk about, one of which I'm really excited about. The other one I'm kind of like, meh, I'm there, but, whatever. But gift search for stories, I think that's kind of fun. Like, how fun is that, right? You're going to be able to get in and and this is within the stories set, and you're going to be able to add and interact more with that. And I think that's kind of cool, right? Like, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I do think that's kind of cool. It's just another feature. I mean, I've said it before, gifts are the new emojis. I'm sorry if you really like emojis, but guess what? They're very limited, and maybe they're just really great for text. But in a lot of the media that I use, I like to use GIFs, and I'll respond to that. I've even put out posts and said, hey, how are you doing today? And that's all I get are GIF responses. And so I just really see that as kind of as cool. But what I think is really important is this idea, Instagram, and this was put out, I think, by, where's the article? TWM. They put out, and they were saying that they've spotted this, and I don't have this feature because I just double checked it, right? This regram feature. So you've got retweets, right, and stuff like this, and reposts and shares and stuff. But within Instagram, they have put this feature out where they're testing this feature, and it's probably like in Australia or something like that, right? Where you're going to be able to repost an Instagram, not using a third-party app, but this is actually in-app for Instagram. I love this idea. I think this is awesome. This is the way to go. And Instagram knows this. And we were talking yesterday with a couple of us, or the other day, saying how Instagram, why don't they just give us all the features that we want? Right? Well, why don't they? Well, you know why? It's because they're really smart marketers, and they know that if they give us everything we want, we're not going to use half of them, and then they'll all be kind of dead and boring. So they're just kind of releasing them one at a time. And the last week the couple weeks ago we had we have video and video. So there's 2-person video within Instagram, and if you're not using that, that's pretty awesome. But now you can request. Once you join, you can request to be on camera. And I think that's kind of cool, which means that now I can use Instagram Live more like a social tool, not just more like a broadcast tool. I don't know. Maybe that's just me or not. So one of the other things that IG is now allowing the option for photo and video message replies. And we've talked about like text replies, emoji replies, things like this. Well, now you're able to add quite a bit more depth and personality to the to your posts and to your replays. So. But I want to put that out there because I think Instagram's kind of cool. Like I'm glad to see that they're growing. I think it's also interesting that the 25 million mark for marketers is just a sign to show you that marketers are seeing Instagram as an actual real connection tool and not just a poor man's website. So anyway, now let's kind of move on to Twitter. Oh, Twitter, poor Twitter. I almost don't even know where to begin with them. So I've only included 2 headlines for them this week. Okay, the first one is a little bit more of like, I don't know, maybe did you guys see this? That there's now 2 versions of embedded tweets now that you can view, all right? The first one is the old one. That's the one that we all know. You just take the encoder and it shows all the, it looks like a snapshot from the screen, whether you're mobile or desktop. And that you can put that on your website. Well, here's the new thing. The new thing is that they've taken out the like and the retweet button. They've slimmed it down so it really is just if there's a picture or whatever it is, and then the text, right? They've taken out all those other options, kind of like vanity metrics, if you would, but you're not going to be able to do that. And I'm not quite sure exactly all the reasoning behind it. Maybe it's just a slimmed down look. Maybe it's just to promote when you embed the content. They actually want you really just to click on it and go back over to the actual platform so they can serve you ads. I don't know. Maybe this is ad driven, just like almost every other decision out there in social media. Twitter blames human error again for blocking yet another famous prominent account. How many of you guys remember a couple weeks ago, Donald Trump's account got deleted for a short time. It was brought back and they said, oh, no, it's not a technical glitch. We just had a rogue human out there just randomly deleting. Actually, it wasn't random. Turns out it was very deliberate, and he even shared how he did it. Well, guess what? This past weekend, the New York Times account got blocked again. How? But see, again, I don't think Twitter, and maybe this is a telltale sign that it's not just actually it's not the platform's problem. Maybe they've got a people problem at Twitter. Why the platform's having such a hard time, just in general. I don't know. I'm not a Twitter expert on the behind the scenes stuff that goes on and why people do stupid stuff. But again, I'm seeing that yet another big account. And if it's happening with big accounts, you can be sure that it's happening with small accounts. So there you go. And just as a side note, how many of you guys caught this past week? Joel Comm did a quick review on the new Twitter service, the new Promote Twitter service, like $100, $99 a month. And he was sharing his results, and results may vary and all that kind of stuff. But it was interesting. He's like, look, for $100, this is what I got. He got like 33 followers, and mind you, Twitter, Joel Comm, he's got 110,000 followers. So he's got a good base. He has a message, got a clear who I am kind of a thing. But having said that, he was not convinced, but he's going to give it one more month, he says. And I think he says that because they already charged his card by the time he was actually doing the broadcast. So I don't know. Maybe that's it. Hey, guys, I wanted to say hi. Thank you for Donna. And I know there's a bunch of you else that are watching. If you are, either give me a thumbs up or give me a heart or just say, hey, I'm here because for whatever reason, Facebook does not want me to know that you're here. And I know there's a handful of you guys over on Periscope, but guess what? It doesn't. Again, I'm really disappointed with Chrome this morning. Maybe I should have just restarted it like a sensible person would have this morning. All right, let's move on. I got 2 other main things I want to talk about. Facebook, of course, Facebook. All right, how interesting is this? And I'm going to go back a couple of weeks, actually probably about a month ago. We were in a different show. We were talking about how responsible entities, businesses, particularly those that are larger and they have a lot of people double checking, like spelling errors, grammar, sensitivity issues, making sure there's proper diversity in their message and things like this. How in the world did this slip through as a function, as an ability that someone didn't sit there and go, how can I abuse this system? And then they fix it before they released it. Well, here's the thing. Facebook has to temporarily disable a tool that lets advertisers exclude people of color. I can't even begin to think how they did not already anticipate their product, their tools, their platform being used in this case. Okay. Now I'm not saying that they did it on purpose. I'm saying that they need to be aware of it as a platform and say, you know what, this is a concern that will come up. YouTube is already facing this issue, and they lost a ton of revenue on their ad side because they were not paying attention to what ads were going on, what videos, and who was using their ads. And isn't this really a lot of the issue? And I'm not talking, this is not fake news stuff. I'm talking about when somebody is using their ad platform maliciously. They need to be aware of it, and they need to be proactive in their thinking. They're not a 5-person company that are, everybody is wearing like multiple hats. They have entire divisions dedicated to just handling, customer community guideline complaints, right? They're big enough. Facebook is more than big enough, and they've done massive hirings to figure this out. And I'm really shocked and surprised that this wasn't figured out sooner. Having said that, though, Facebook is actually rolling out a couple of new things, and I really like what they're doing. I'm glad to see this, but how many of you guys read that Facebook has an AI, an artificial intelligence that's helping them try and predictively find suicide or suicidal, users with suicidal tendencies, and they're trying to get them help before it's too late. And they are working with mental health professionals, and that is a big deal. And on two ends, it's one, this does show in this case that they are actually trying to reach out and do some community good. All right, that's how I see that. Now, the second thing is that's an AI doing it. They don't have a person clicking through. They have AI. They've developed this. They developed this technology to be able to handle this and to be able to make these assessments. And that's a very, very, very complex thing. And even more so, it's a secret because Facebook's not telling anybody how they're doing it, except we have this technology. So having said that, while on the one hand, they need to clean up their act. I'm glad to see they're doing this. How about this? Facebook is actually testing tools now to make it easier for businesses and business accounts, rather, to send messenger blasts. How many of you guys are getting inundated with messengers? With these chatbot, with these messenger ads and things like this. Some people absolutely hate it. They can't stand it, and I know some people that have actually uninstalled the messenger app off of their mobile. Right. Well, that doesn't stop you from being able to reach out. It just means that you're just not going to get on your mobile. It's just all going to sit on your desktop. My point is this. I think I think that Facebook is understanding exactly what it is that they need to do to open up the new ad revenue portals, right? So their mobile is their desktop's all filled up with ads. Their mobile's filled up with ads. Well, what's next? What's the next platform that they have? Well, it's the messenger. So they're going to do that. And I do see that this will maybe for free or at such a reasonable cost now and going into the future. But that this is going to be another place where businesses have an opportunity for now. And then they are going to have to monetize it later in order to keep their revenue growing as it was. So another facet of this is that not in this country, but I believe it was in Australia that I saw that this had come up. Facebook is testing a face ID, a face recognition ID, in order to sign in. How crazy is this? You mean Facebook wants to know what my face looks like in order for me to log in? Well, what if I forget my face, like I forget my passwords, right? Are they going to be up on par with their Face ID tech like Apple is? And how are they going to do this? So are they storing my facial recognition app? I don't even want it. This is a really complex issue. In all honesty, I don't like the fact that that I have to do this, because you know what if I'm somewhere where I cannot there's not enough light to grab to be able to grab, face recognition? Or what if I'm really cold and so like I've got my scarf on and I've got my trendy hoodie on or something like that, where it obscures part of my face. Now I have to, what do I have to? I mean, I don't like the idea about it. But this also kind of ties in with something else that I had read. It was about 20 days ago where Facebook is trying to prevent and trying to take steps to prevent things like harassment, bullying, and one of those very specific things was talking about revenge porn and uploading as a revenge tactic explicit photos of somebody else. Maybe it's an ex-girlfriend, maybe it's a coworker or a boss or something compromising that would be absolutely embarrassing for the purpose of embarrassing them and exposing them in just really awful ways, because this is just not how human beings should treat each other, to be honest. Okay. Well, so in addition to that, I had read, and it stuck in my mind, and I had kind of filed it under useless stuff that I remember. And there was and I don't know if this was a real headline, and I wish I could find it. They had said, well, in order to make this this revenge porn, this system more powerful and be able to do its job faster, we're going to have to ask you if you would upload compromising pictures of yourself into the messenger so that our AI system can identify them. Okay, so this is what we should be looking for, and this is not. Guys, I cannot tell you on how many levels that is probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard and seen. Absolutely not. This is probably literally the dumbest thing. But again, that's why it gets filed in my brain of stuff that I don't really need to know. But again, what I do see in all seriousness is that Facebook is in a huge AI learning curve right now. This is probably one of their big things. It's actually not VR, although I'm sure that's a really big thing, VR, AR, live photo. They have, I really see that their use of these AI tech is really actually what's going to make and set their platform apart from everybody else going forward, because of how intuitive and how connected it is. So just hear me out when I say that. Watch out what you put on Facebook, because guess what? It's not going away. All right, last news, and we're going to be doing, let me just talk about this real quick on a couple of things. And how many of you guys are still using Snapchat? And I say that not because Snapchat is no longer a platform. I'm just going to say it like this, right? How many of you guys are actually still using Snapchat? Because guess what? It's changed. The Snapchat has changed in a couple of fashions and a couple of factors. One, their stock price has just kept going down and down and down, and I'm sure it's actually gone down even more. But here's the problem, right? The platform itself isn't going away. So instead of just letting it continue to die off, much the same way that Twitter does, what they did, okay, so I see Cephalospora too. Awesome. What a great name. You guys don't use Snapchat in Spain. That's kind of awesome. But by the way, thanks for watching us from Spain. And I see Alfredo also saying this thing, but I don't Snapchat. I changed again. Yeah. So here's the thing. Let me just kind of get back on track, right? So Snapchat's losing tons of money, and they're just trying to figure out what the heck to do, because they can't sell glasses, they can't sell apps, they can't sell ads, and they really only do a couple things really good, but they haven't figured out how to monetize it. And they've kind of gone back to the basics of just going like, hey, maybe this app is actually just too hard to use, and and we just don't know how to actually monetize it out, right? So they have actually gone through and done a redesign, re-layout of the app. And to be honest, I actually haven't gotten into to be able to see it. But over on Business Insider, this is where I saw this article, and I was really going to it for the video. There's a 60-second video of the CEO going through and saying, hey, this is what we're doing. Here's the basic idea. They are separating out the personal and the business within the app, so you can connect with people that you want. So they're introducing algorithms to their feed, not just timeline feeds. Isn't that the way that everybody's done? I mean, Instagram, Facebook used to be timeline. Now it's algorithm based. Instagram's algorithm based, Snapchat now it is, Twitter. Yeah, it's all algorithm based because we know there's so much content out there. And Snapchat's starting to finally figure this out. So they're introducing an algorithm side to this for the content. But again, they're separating out the personal so that you're able to connect with the people that you want. They're going to see your content. And I think it's a really kind of cool idea. And the other side of it is that now they have all the Discover with all the businesses and the brands and things like this, so that if you just want to catch the news or you want to catch highlights or something that's not your personal friend, it's in a different part of the app. And I actually kind of think that's kind of cool. Maybe it's about a year too late, but it's a kind of a cool thing. I really don't mind it. I think that they're heading in the right direction. Now the question is it too little too late to catch a lot of the mainstream users that were doing it, and they were absolutely loving this app, and they were promoting it, and they were talking about it. But I'm hesitant to say that this is going to be what's working. Maybe that this change for them, this design change, the algorithms and the way that they're going to be using the new filter sets that help you run ads and things like this. Maybe all of these things are going to help Snapchat not completely die and still remain a thought leader within the app and messaging world. Because remember, I think of Snapchat not as a social media platform as much, although I'm going to call it that. I think of it more as a messenger app, because I think that at the heart, I think that's exactly what it is. And I think that's exactly why you still be able to use it. Now, it is not a worldwide app, and I think that's a downfall for it. But you know what? You can't be all things to everybody, and that's okay. So that's kind of my news. You know what? Here, I'll just give you a couple of other headlines. Google's being sued for allegedly planting secret cookies in 5.4 million iPhone users. And I grabbed this headline because you know what? I'm sick and tired of all my fancy iPhone friends and all my fancy, iPhone 8, 6, S and X and 10s and all saying, look, all of the viruses, all the bad stuff is with the Android users. Well, guess what? Google's sticking it to you. Now, granted, they're getting sued, but you know what? You guys got it too. So I'm just going to put that right out there. Guys, make sure you're using all of our social handles. You guys find us, you can find us on YouTube over at VitMug. Just search for VitMug. Give us a subscribe, guys. We're adding content almost, I don't want to say daily, but multiple times in the week. We've got some big things kind of coming out. We've got some different fun things that we want to include over the next couple of weeks for the rest of 2017. Let's live stream. We've got some great guests. We've got Steve Dotto. We've got, I think, and I'm not in charge of this part of this, but I think we have Rachel Moore coming on to be a guest again, to come back, and I can't wait to talk with her about some of the things that she's been doing this past year, and I'm really kind of excited about that. I think we have Stephen Hayward coming on, getting some perspective on how to use live streaming that's just not like stuck in a studio, but still super high quality. Guys, we have some really fun things going on with Let's Live Stream, VitMug. I'm gonna tell you right now, Talk Social News. We're gonna try to be including some more different technologies. I'm just gonna be working on this. This is why I keep adding things to the show and I keep breaking them, and I really should just get my act together and just make it happen. But guys, subscribe to us, whether you're on Periscope. You can subscribe on Periscope. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube. These are just a lot of the main platforms you guys are on. I love having you guys here every week. Now, don't forget, this is not the end of the show, okay? From now to the end of the show, I'll kind of give you just a couple little things, couple little pointers, but I want to give some shout outs. Thank you guys so much for hanging around. I see you guys having a really great conversation over on Periscope. I love it. Thank you. And thank you guys for sharing this out, even if it's after people actually watch this on the replay. I don't know who they are all the time, but they do. And if you comment, say, hey, I watched it on the replay. I appreciate that. But thank you to Alfredo, Donna, Dave, Jen. Thank you guys for watching. I know there's more of you guys here. If you are here, you're watching this, please just type like, hey, I'm watching. Hey, it's good to see you. But after this, David and I, the after show, this week we're talking about Cheaters and Thieves, episode 19, the 3E, all right? And you guys can go over to fblive.davidvaughn.live to catch us there. We're going to be starting, we start our show at about 10:45, and that's just enough time for you guys to be able to transition over and watch us there. You can watch us, listen in the background. I guarantee you have no idea what we're going to talk about today. I just gave you the title. I'm in the show and I don't even know what this is about. But we're going to be doing some fun things, guys. This will be a chance for you guys just to kind of get away and enjoy yourself. So with that, guys, I'm going to say thank you so much. Let's see if I can actually end this broadcast the right way. Guys, thank you so much. Make sure you join us. I will see you guys Monday. Have a very safe, happy week. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. I cannot wait to see you guys another time. Okay. Having said that, let's see what happens here. Because guess what? Tech just isn't working for me. So with that, I'll talk to you guys later.